You know, a slip bobber is kind of a cool setup because you can fish a lot of different depths but still be able to cast that bobber and the jig out there. So let me talk about the components that go into making up a slip bobber. The first thing on your line is going to be one of the more crucial things. That's called your bobber stop. In our case, what we're using is just a heavy piece of line here that you actually tie right onto your fishing line, and that bobber stop can slide up and down your line. So you can slide that to wherever you want, so you can fish any depth you want. Then comes your bobber, and this is simply a sliding bobber that moves up and down the line. Then next what I use is something to stop this bobber from sliding down too far. In my case, I use a snap swivel, so it just stops that bobber from coming down. Now next is a piece of leader material. What I like to use here is fluorocarbon. And since we're fishing around a lot of wood and heavy cover, what I use here is 15-pound leader material. Very, very heavy, very, very stout, but because it's fluorocarbon, it's going to be clear underwater so the fish won't see it real well. And then finally you come down to the working end of your system here, and we're just using either an 1/8 ounce jig when it's a little windier or a 1/16 ounce jig and a couple small leeches on there. As far as the main line on your bobber setup, what we're using here is 14-pound fire line, again because we're kind of combat bobber fishing here, we're in heavy cover, so 14-pound. We're also using the highly visible flame green line so that you can kind of see where your line is weaving through these trees and stuff. So that visibility is good. Again, the fish won't see it because they're actually seeing this fluorocarbon. Then lastly, what you want to use is a pretty long rod for bobber fishing. When you actually get a fish on when you're bobber fishing, you need to a lot of times bring up a lot of line and a lot of slack to get a good hook set on the fish. So a nice long rod is very important. We use an 8.5-foot rod for this. So again, slip bobbers are a cool situation because they allow you to fish any depth basically that you want to, but yet be able to cast that bobber into very tight situations.